Hi, I'm Anjana Naskar from Impact Magazine. Today we have with us Mr. MVS Murthy, the Chief Marketing Officer of Federal Bank. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
Anjana.
Mr. Murthy, for
Thank you.
joining us today.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Murthy, Federal Bank has chosen Vidya Balan as its new ambassador. Uh, you know, Transitioning from sports person HS Pranay last year. What was the rationale behind this shift, and what do you think? What what does Vidya Balan brings that aligns with the brand's vision?
Yeah. So the difference between Pranay and Vidya is that Pranay was not a brand ambassador for us. He was somebody whom we were supporting and promoting in his journey to the Olympics. So it was an association which we had with a sports person, and we chose Pranay because we also wanted to look at opportunities which are beyond cricket, and that's where Pranay came in. As far as Vidya is concerned, it is an underlined, bold, highlighted moment for us where we wanted to have a prolific brand ambassador who cuts across genders, who cuts across geographies, who's multilingual, and we all know that she's done a lot of work in multiple
Yeah.
language films. So in many ways, it all came together. While you might think that it's happened like this at the snap of finger, it's not happened that way. There's been a lot of thought, and I can tell you that there has been a lot of debate also in terms of who should be and why should it be. And I've also had a lot of pushbacks saying, "Abhi kyun karna hai? Kyun kharcha uda rahe hain?" So all of those things have happened. But yeah, I think net it's all fallen into place.
So, Federal Bank has long positioned itself as a customer-centric and progressive institution.
Yeah.
How has the brand evolved over the years? And how are you reinforcing Vidya Balan as a this new brand association?
Yeah. So because you spoke about the evolution of the brand, you must know that almost about 1,000 branches of ours are outside of Kerala.
Yeah.
We have a 50-year presence in Bangalore. We have a 50-year presence in the Northeast. We have a 50-year presence in Chennai also. But we have been a bank in the sense that we've been largely a deposit led kind of a bank. Now, having said so, there is definitely an ambition to have more prolific products, to have new segment lines which are there, to have more branches. At the end of the day, advertising is in a moment in time. What a consumer sees is the branches and the ATMs and the lights behind it, and that's how the identity of the brand comes in. Having somebody like Vidya, it adds a bit of a halo, not a bit of a halo, a significant halo to the brand, because suddenly it becomes very noticeable.
Yeah.
And again, going back to what you mentioned to me earlier, I don't think we would have had anybody better than her underlining the brand at this moment in time, as we are very um, optimistic and looking forward to our growth journey.
Okay. So, Mr. Murthy, in an increasingly digitalized world that we are right now, how is Federal Bank kind of balancing traditional banking trust with the need for digitalization?
Right. So we have very famously said that we are human at the core and digital to the fore. How much ever you get into digital as a platform, you still need to meet a bunch of your friends to have a cup of coffee. You still need to go and meet your parents in person when it is their anniversary and stuff like this. You cannot take away
Yeah.
the human quotient. At the same time, if you are agnostic to digital, then you are seen as a fuddy-duddy brand. I don't know if you are aware, but a large part of the fintech ecosystem in India is being promoted by Federal Bank. They have Federal inside. And the fact that we are working with a lot of fintech spaces keeps us also fresh and agile, because we know what's happening latest in the space of technology and fintech. And managing people, emotions, building multi-generational business,
Yeah.
multi-geography business are all a part of the evolution of the brand. So it's not that we are learning something at this moment in time, but over the years we have learned, and of course it never stops. So you keep adapting to the present time and situation, which is where digital comes in, and then you try and create best of class products for people who want to be digital plus physical. Somebody wants to be just physical,
Yeah.
or somebody wants to be physical and digital. So sequencing is very important.
Right, right. So currently, what are the consumer trends that you're seeing dominating the banking sector as of?
I think more than the banking sector, one of the most important trends which is dominating the consumer mind space is that everybody is loving the India story. Whether the
Absolutely.
consumer is in India, whether the consumer is outside, the moment you have an Indian in the room, everybody wants to listen to that story. That's one. The second part is that we have some prolific people who are running large MNCs. They all come from India, and we're going to be the third largest economy. So that is essentially driving our choices of products, our choices of jobs, the place we go out and
Yeah.
holiday. So that's the large story on the consumer trend. And as a bank, naturally, we want to encash on all the action which is happening around India.
Okay. So also, as you spoke about fintech and all, there's a lot of increasing competition from fintech, and there's a new
Yes.
concept called neobanks that have
Yes.
come up.
Yes.
So how is Federal Bank kind of differentiating itself from these
No, I
new
really feel that the industry is large. There are still a lot of people who are not banked. I mean, you can you just imagine the fact that there are still people who can't read and write,
Right.
but for them, voice is important,
Absolutely.
right? So, which means we need to get all of those people in, and then once you have them coming in, you will have various kinds of products which you will go out and. So, I'm not particularly worried about intensity of competition or stuff like that. And fact of the matter is that today consumers don't buy products; they buy experiences.
Right.
There are two cards, both of them are expected to be equally good or equally bad. But at the end of the day, what you buy into is your experience through the buying journey and how the key was given to you and how you were
Yeah.
made to feel special. So the market is really, really large, and there are so many niches. And thankfully, the virtue of being in a banking industry is that banking is where the money flows. So money will flow into something or the other.
Yeah.
So
So also you mentioned earlier that NRIs are your strongest,
Yes.
you have a strong presence
Yes.
among the NRIs.
Yes.
So how do you approach what is your marketing approach that is different from those for your domestic customers as compared to the NRI, this particular segment?
So a lot of what we do with the NRIs happens in those markets, which is different from what we do in these markets. And when you look at India as a market, there is a density of a lot of Indians. Whereas when you look at the overseas market, then the Indians are also mixed with the larger part of people from those countries and their origins and things like that. So therefore, what we do, the playbook is different in both the states,
Both, yeah.
in both the geographies.
Same, yeah.
Okay, and there might be a overplay of events there because there is a need for an intimate kind of a gathering of people. There is some specific deliveries to happen here, whereas India allows us a play of the entire ATL, BTL, and the digital stack. So it's all a function of in which part of the world are you in.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Murthy.
Thank you
It was
as much.
lovely having this
Thank you.
conversation.
Thank you.